Hi, it's me, Olivia. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel for interesting stories and visit my Patreon page for early access, link in the description. Thanks. Then ask, Nancy replied as she took a second tray, and they re-entered the dining room just as Nikki finished filling the wine glasses. The trays of dishes were placed on the table, and they took their seats, joining hands for the prayer. This time, Eve remembered to say, "Blessed be," and was mildly surprised when Vicky said, "Amen." Seated with hands in her lap, Eve politely waited for the plates to come around, and when Kathy asked, "So, Eve, how was the card game?" she answered modestly, "It was rather nice. I think, no, I know I enjoyed the company a lot." She should. She and Nikki won $750 was Nancy's contribution. "That's for our honeymoon," countered Nikki. "Please pass the soy sauce," Vicky requested, and Eve almost fell over a chair trying to help. Vicky giggled and said, "Wow. What service? I'll have to eat here more often." "Please, tipping is allowed for the waitstaff," Nancy giggled. As they ate, the dinner conversation drifted from the poker game to the weather for the next few days, Eve's fashion for the day, and how the heels exercises were coming. Soon, it was coffee and a slice of cherry pie, supplied by Vicky, for each. Sipping her coffee, Vicky asked Eve to say, "How nice to see you again, my dear." After listening carefully, she said, "Again, only a little softer and slightly higher in pitch." Eve sat there repeating the mantra in varying pitch, volume, and intonation. She sipped and said, "Vicky, is this really necessary?" "Oh, this is the easy part," was the comeback. "Next," she said, "you need to be able to blend in with a group of girls so well that even they don't suspect you are a boy." After the meal, Nikki and Nancy cleared the table and started on the dishes. Eve was led into the family room and given 2 heels to put on. It was circle the room with a heavy book balanced precariously on the head. Repeat, "How very nice to see you again, my dear." Bend at knees to retrieve the dropped book, and do it again. Both Kathy and Vicky commented on her rapid progress, giving suggestions and a few compliments. It was those praises that made Eve want to do better. Soon she was up to 3-inch pumps and able to pick up books placed on the floor without dropping the one balanced on her head. By the time the girls had finished the dishes and joined them, Eve had a close-to-female voice and a fairly decent walk. Of course, mannerisms, makeup, positioning of hands when speaking, and other gender giveaways were pointed out. Eve was learning quite a bit in that evening lesson. "Kathy, you say she only started today?" Vicky inquired. "The girls were working with her this morning, and that seemed to be all she needed." The gorgeous Amazon smiled at Eve as she said, "Dear, it's all right. I was told that you were in a spot of trouble. So forgive me if I refer to you in the feminine." "I do forgive you, if you'll forgive me for staring at you." She laughed lightly as she stated, hen. "At work, I once had a junior instructor walk into a water cooler. He spent 2 hours cleaning up the spill. Then there was the male clerk who wound up in the ladies' room." "Was that Mikey?" asked Kathy. "I seem to remember you taking him on for the summer." "Yep. Anyway, rest period's over. Back on your rounds." Back to the salt mine again, around the room, now on 4-inch pumps and trying to hold a reasonably intelligent conversation in a reasonably feminine voice with Nikki and Nancy, and that book, etc. "When do we start? The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain," quipped Eve. "For that remark, it's 10 more laps," stated Kathy. "Vicky, I hope you don't mind sleeping in the maid's room." "Hey, that's okay. I can even make breakfast." "Not in my house," Kathy quickly interrupted. "You are a guest. Besides, Eve needs cooking instructions." Vicky grinned as she said, "And that pretty vixen will cook too?" "My, what a find you got there, Nikki." "I'm willing to share," Nikki brightly replied, adding, "for a fee, of course." The snickering gave her away. When Eve finished her 10th lap, Vicky said, "Dear, you look a little tired. Come sit on my lap." Eve was on her lap in a second. With those 2 muscular arms wrapped around her, Eve snuggled up comfortably. "If this is a punishment, I'd love to be here until Christmas," Eve thought. Being here among all these lovely girls, this was where she really felt at home. Vicky broke into her reverie with, "Now, sweetheart, here's why we need you to be so girly. First, there is a meeting of the Ladies' City Auxiliary. These are the female leaders in the city, store owners, city representatives, etc. You and Nikki will be serving the guests in pretty maids' uniforms. Next, you will be used as a model in a beauty salon, appearing before teenage girls. The Niles Chapman Greenwood house needs 2 tour guides. Imagine guiding tourists in hoop skirts, corsets, and petticoats through a Civil War-era mansion." Why did I get that feeling of excitement? Eve mused. Is it the idea of appearing in public in frilly garments? Do I really understand what's going on? Then, at the Founders' Day celebration, in about 20 or more days, you will be portraying Chastity Chapman, daughter of the city's founder, meeting and greeting visiting dignitaries and tourists. Between those events, you will be here, learning about famous women in history, Vicky went on to say. It seemed like an afterthought when she added, "Oh yes. You will also learn ballroom dancing, waltzes, foxtrot, and two-step. You'll be dancing with some boy students." "I guess I don't have a say in anything," replied Eve. Kathy quickly answered, "Oh, Eve darling, yes you do. Do you see any cameras? Have we really threatened you? I know it's only a short time that you've been here, but I would hope you've started to like the more frilly things. All you need to do is say, 'I want out,' and I'll call your mother." What a turn of events this was. These were swell. Oh hell, admit it, Eve thought, you like these things. You like the way the skirt swirls when you spin around. You like the lace of the petipants brushing your leg, the feel of Nancy or Nikki as they hold you, and all those beautiful friends of Nancy. Admit it, you're hooked on the clothes, the girls. So, what? Wait a minute, can't be too anxious here. Got to be subtle, in a pig's eye. "Ma'am, I'll do whatever you want me to," Eve replied, averting her eyes modestly downward, mostly to hide the big grin. A smiling Kathy said, "Eve, yesterday I set up a few things for you to go through, but let's make sure, shall we? Please call your home, and you can have a private conversation with your mother." "Okay," was his quick reply. E.S.J. Call home. Does this sound like some movie? Maybe I'd better tell Mom everything's going well. I don't want her to worry. You know mothers can be. 2 minutes later, Kathy was on the phone to Janice O'Shea, and their quick conversation went something like this. "Hi, Jan. Kathy Winters here." "Oh, sure. It's just that your son, Alan, would like to talk to you." "Yes, I'll put him on. Alan, dear, here's your mother." The emphasis on Alan was deliberate. Kathy was telling Jan that she still had a son, and that wouldn't change. Kathy motioned to the others to give Alan some privacy. Nikki and Nancy took dishes to the kitchen for washing, and Kathy escorted Vicky on a tour of the house, while Eve moved over to the phone, sat, sweeping the skirt under her in a surprisingly fluid motion, and picked up the receiver. I seem to be getting that little mannerism down pat. "Hi, Mama. How are you doing?" she started. "Hi yourself, sweetie. Are you all right? Are you being treated well?" "I'm fine. I had a nice dinner that I helped make," he said with more than a little touch of pride. "I assisted Nikki with cleaning. She's such a wonderful girl. We slept in the same room. Whoops, oh gee, I think I'm in trouble. That is, the two of us. No, that's not right. Try, you occupied the same bed, dear," Jan said, adding, "and no, I'm okay with that. At this time I guess I should think of you as a girl, so it was just 2 girls in the same bed." Yeah, I guess, putting it that way. "Anyway, everything is great, Mama," she continued, "but I do miss you so much." "And I miss you too, dear." Giggle. "When you work at cleaning, do you wear a maid's uniform? I think you'd look so cute in one." Mom. Don't go there." Come on, dear. One of those pretty maid's black dresses, white frilly apron, black stockings, and a little white lace cap pinned in your hair, bustling around with a feather duster. I think I'd enjoy seeing what you look like." Shucks, Mom." A blush formed on Eve's pretty face. "I was wearing high heels, and I can walk, well, I guess it's more a stroll, in 3 heels, balancing a book." "No kidding. My little girl is growing up." Giggle, giggle. Jan's nervous giggles gave her away. In spite of the lighthearted banter and teasing, she was relieved at his seeming acceptance of the present situation. Mama, seriously, I'm okay. You don't need to worry about me. Nikki and Nancy are very nice to me, and I think I'm in love. Startled into a moment of silence, Janice paused at hearing that statement. My boy is really growing up. I just hope he is a good judge of character, but they seem to be nice girls. With whom, dear? Nikki, Nancy, Ginger, Sandra, Julie, oh hell, all of them, Mom. Wow, he's really growing up. Isn't that a little too many? Jan inquired. After all, you still are a little young. They try to tell us we're too young, she sang in a surprisingly feminine voice. Oh mama, Nikki, we had the nicest time talking and cuddling in bed. Nancy is smart, and she changes my... Whoops. Out with it. What? Oh, in trouble. Well, to prevent accidents, like boyish excitement, Nancy still helps me with some practical matters to keep things clean. Jan replied, that's right. I remember seeing you that way yesterday. It was a logical idea. Didn't seem to bother him, her, and, well, he was being punished, in a way. She continued, so, you like both girls? Mama, I thought they would be doing all sorts of humiliatingly horrible things to me, but I had fun playing cards with Nancy's girlfriends. Me and Nikki won $7, and she's saving for our honeymoon. What? Already? God, she is a fast worker, Jan said, a smile in her voice. She'll probably have you wearing the wedding gown. Haha. I can just see it now. Me waddling down the aisle in a virginal white gown. Wouldn't that be a sight to behold? You could even sell tickets. Mama, I think I wouldn't mind. In fact, I might even enjoy doing something like that. I don't. No, Mom, I really do like these things. There's something about. I just can't explain it. Giggle. Those mean old girls have corrupted your morals by making you wear soft silks, satins, and laces? Giggle. You mean to say that you like wearing dresses and such? Well, that's a turn. I like the soft fabric, the slip with the lace hem. Oh, Mama, I think I'm turning into someone who enjoys these things. And oh, damn it. You are a kind, gentle boy who loves too much. You are and always will be my son, my loving child. Do you want to come home? Oh no, Mama. Nancy explained a lot and I love her for that. I showed off. Well, the other girls were showing and comparing clothing. I just felt I should. Well, you know. Now this is something different, Jan thought. So, you joined in showing off what you were wearing? Yes, and I didn't feel embarrassed in the slightest. Actually, I felt real proud as they all said how nice I looked. Isn't that something? I mean, there I was wearing soft fabrics and all the girls were examining them, and I felt really good about it. Mama, I'm not going. Gee, how to say this? I am comfortable with this. Gay? Who said anything about that? You just experienced a female gathering. We all want to look nice underneath, so we compare things. Ask, where did you get that dress, or slip, or whatever? Sounds like they accepted you into their group. I sure do hope so. Nikki's motioning to one side caught Eve's eye as she said, Mom, Nikki wants to talk with you. I'll say goodbye now, and I love you so much. I love you too, dear. Okay, put my future daughter-in-law on. Okay, Nikki, Eve said, holding out the phone for her. Please subscribe for the next part and visit my Patreon page for early access. Thanks.